What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, finally ready to deliver you our team build of Season 3 here on the channel. Hazleton Hoopas are heading into this season apparently looking pretty strong. I'm actually kind of liking our draft. The more that I looked at it, the more that I just kind of fell in love with some of these mons, man. The more that I looked into this, I was really excited. But I want you guys to be excited, so please make sure to show that excitement by hitting the like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. But without further ado, we're going to get into this. First things first, I didn't explain too much in the draft analysis video about the league itself, but this season we have changed things up as to how we made the divisions and everything, so it's really cool. Stibe, who was the champion of last season, really put in a lot of work this season. Huge shout out to Stibe. I'll link his channel in the description below. He's a fantastic dude, really kick-ass YouTuber. He puts in a lot of work into his battles. He's a really fantastic battler. One of the best I've seen in a very long time. So definitely make sure to check him out. He's really fantastic. Great dude. Overall, just yeah, good times watching him battle, man. But he came up with brackets based upon skill level. Bracket 1 was the top 4 players that were left from last season. Bracket 3 was the next 4 from last season, or based upon skill levels of people that we already know. And then brackets 2 and 4 were based off of the new guys, the newbies. That we got eight former competitors and 8 new members. So now that we just kind of had them split up based upon skill level. Overall skill level is determined by Stibe and probably a few others. Sat down and determined the overall skill level and separated them into the brackets accordingly. And then one from each bracket is in each division, which kind of makes sense. Keep the divisions, all the divisions balanced and whatnot. So that's cool. But somehow, I don't know how, it's kind of wild. We actually were chosen to be a part of Bracket 1 with the top 4 people as determined by Stibe, which is wild, because I don't think I deserve it, but okay, I'll take it. But we are in Bracket 1, which means we are also in a division all of our own. We're in the Rocket division, so they're basing the divisions off of the evil teams, which is kind of wild. But we are in the Rocket division, which is kind of cool. Team Rocket was my favorite evil team, so pretty legit. But yeah, 13-week season coming our way. We got 13 weeks coming down the pipe, or no, 11 weeks actually. Why was I thinking 13? We got 11 weeks coming our way, wherein we don't battle all the members of our bracket. We only battle 2 of them, but that's okay, because that's fun. We will battle Stibe eventually, goddammit. We have not battled Stibe yet, but we will battle Stibe, goddammit. If we have to do it in the playoffs, we'll fucking do it in the playoffs, dude. I don't give a shit. We're gonna battle Stibe if it fucking kills us, dude. I don't care what happens. But still, I'm gonna stop rambling about that. Week 1 is here, and it is time to get things started. We are taking on a member of, I believe it is the opposing division in our conference, maybe? I don't know how exactly it's working, but it seems to me that we are playing, I think my 11 weeks consist of playing the 3 people in my division at least once. So that would be Toby, Max, and who's else in my division? Angel. So that's that. And then it seems like I battle the Galactic Division, which is, make sure that I got this right, Tom, East, Patrick, and Leafy. Yes. And then We also battle the Plasma Division, which is Wes Drew, Marcelo, and Arc. So, kind of interesting how it's all set up. It's really, really interesting. And to actually start this off, we are having a match against a member of the Galactic Division. So we're starting off interdivisional. We're taking on Patrick and the Atlanta Altarias. He has a very, very intriguing draft. I'm going to list it all off, but then I'm going to kind of go a little bit more in depth. I want to go with Fella. I want to go a little bit more in depth as to my thought process in a lot of situations, but and a little bit more of a thought process on my planning. But just so you guys are more aware of what's going on in my head. But looking at his team, he's got a really, really threatening squad. That consists of Victini, Manaphy, Shaman, Florges, Noivern, Sandslash, Frostlass, Electivire, Roselia, Mega Absol, Lucario, and Caracosta. Okay, so looking at that team, first of all, I want to kind of go over some of the things I don't see him bringing. Personally, I don't see Caracosta coming. I have ways. I made sure to EV a few Mons and take, the necessary precautions to handle, maybe Shell Smash Caracosta or whatever. I have that plan in motion that if in case of Shell Smash Caracosta, do this, yada yada yada, but I don't see Caracosta coming just because A, he has Manaphy, which is not 4 times weak to grass and has 2 less weaknesses than Caracosta, so that's one big reason I could see it not showing up. Secondly, it's just, even with the Shell Smash, it's not that fast. It's not all that fast. It's not fantastic. It's not the best Mon to have. It's very, very one-dimensional. You can see right through its plan, and you see it, you already know it's going to either Shell Smash or just be bulky with rocks and shit, and it's not that great. Do I see Sandslash coming? Part of me says yes, part of me says no. Yes, because rocks are kind of important, and looking at his team, the only Mon that sets up rocks is actually either Caracosta or Sandslash, so I do potentially see Sandslash coming to set up those rocks and potentially spin rocks away. As you can see, we do have our spin blocker, so that's not too big of a deal. Mega Absol, I 100% see coming. There's no reason not to bring it. Roselia, I don't see coming because, again, we do have access to the Shaman, which hits a lot harder and can bulk hits a little better in some aspects. With the right spread, can bulk hits better than Roselia. So that's a thing. I mean, I have coverage for Roselia, but I'm not thinking in my head, oh, Roselia could be a problem. No, it's not. It's a Roselia. Even with an Eviolite, I can hit that thing physically with just about anything, and it's going to die. So there's that. But, Electivire, do I see it coming? Potentially, for Volt Switch. The first 3 Mons in his team right off the bat, although I will say, I do see all 3 of them coming, potentially. Because, A, they are all base 100, which is fantastic. I only have 2 Mons on my team that are faster than that. Spoilers, I'm not bringing either of them. For very good reasons. But all 3 of them would then speed tie or outspeed the entirety of my squad in the right scenarios. So I don't see a reason to not bring all 3 of them because they synergize so beautifully together. I could see the Sandslash, I could see the Florges, and those 3 definitely, Mega Absol definitely, and then for the last 2, I could see any combination between Florges, Noivern, Sandslash, and Frostlass. Maybe Electivire. Do I have any reason why Electivire wouldn't show up? Do I have anything on my team that would outright say, hey, Electivire, don't come to this match? No, I don't. So, Electivire could come. There's a lot of options that he could bring, but I'm not totally sold on a lot of them. Definitely the first 3, though, I pretty much guarantee coming. I don't know, I just have this gut feeling that they're most definitely showing up. So there's definitely that. But, yeah, so... Yeah, so he's got a really, really good team, but, couple things that I noticed, kind of a bit of a ground weakness, but, you know, a lot of the mons that are weak to it, I just do not see them showing up. Like, there's so many reasons as to why, like, some of these mons I'm just not picturing, because I have more than enough checks and counters to these mons to, you know, not warrant a lot of them showing up, you know, but who am I to judge, right? Lost my train of thought for a second, but now I think it's coming back. Alright, so looking at his team, you know, noticing those clear, obvious threats, the base 100s and whatnot, I decided to start crafting my team around handling those appropriately, as well as also being able to handle the Mega Absol. The Mega Absol is one of the biggest threats. For those of you who watch the GBA, you might have just recently watched the battle between the San Francisco Giants and the New York Metapods, where a Mega Absol got a Swords Dance up and swept an entire team. Needless to say, I don't want that to happen. So, we're not going to let that happen. Okay? Okay. So, I have a couple things that can beat it. A couple things that can take the right hits. And he's going to end up having to deal with 4-move syndrome in order to handle my team, which is really good for me, because if he can't handle my entire team, then my entire team's not going to get swept. And the first mon that I have that deals with the Mega Absol in beautiful ways, and is actually my main counter to it, is something that's weak to its stab. Surprise. We have Imhotep, the Cophagrigus. Imhotep is going to put in some work here. We're running a fully physically defensive Cophagrigus here with the Culverberry. Now, even if, and this is kind of wild, even if the Mega Absol goes +2, okay, Cophagrigus can put in the work against it, because Cophagrigus has the Mummy ability, which 99.9% of all of Mega Absol's moves are hitting us on the physical side. Knock off, Sucker Punch, etc., etc. You know, stuff like that. So that's going to transfer the Mummy over, which means Magic Bounce no longer exists. So I'm free to, in front of the if Mega Absol's in front of me, I'm free to click Will-O-Wisp. Like, obviously, wait a second, but I can potentially click Will-O-Wisp and not worry. You know? Like, if I see the scenario, if Mega Absol gets a Swords Dance up in the matchup, okay, I need to sack something and get Cophagrigus in there, because it's too tempting to just click knockoff and kill the Cophagrigus, right? Because without the Culverberry, we would die. But with Culverberry, we live, we burn the Mega Absol, and then its being +2 just kind of is irrelevant. And then at that point, we can either switch back out, we can pain split back up, we can do a bunch of shit that we need to do, and Cophagrigus can basically shut the Mega Absol down. Which means if he doesn't bring Florges, which I would be surprised if he didn't, but if he doesn't bring Florges, then he wouldn't have Cleric support to get that burn off the Mega Absol, which would be huge for us. Also, once that the Mega Absol is no longer magic bouncing, I can also freely set up a layer or two of Toxic Spikes, which could be very, very essential to us winning, because looking at my opponent's team, the only things that are immune to it are the Roselia, which I honestly do not see coming. If I had to choose between Shaman and Roselia any day of the week, Shaman is my choice. Noivern, which again is pretty frail, so a lot of members of my team can either take a hit from it and revenge it, or just straight up kill it. Like, it's not that big of a threat. And Lucario, which is one of the only mons that's like, I'm moderately worried about, but if it's a physical set, we can burn it with Kofag. If it's a special set, it doesn't matter, we can, like, Shadow Ball it still and do a decent amount of damage. Like, I'm not worried about Lucario, necessarily. Like, it's there, I'm thinking about it, it's in my mind, but I'm not worried about it. But, yeah, with the Will-O-Wisp, we can burn things. Pain Split, we can get our HP back and hurt some of their walls that want to try to switch in. Toxic Spikes, if we can get a layer of Toxic Spikes up, that'd be really, really legit, because we can get that poison on a lot of members of the team and whittle them down a little bit, which would be really, really awesome. And then we have Shadow Ball, because honestly, barring the Mega Absol, which resists the Shadow Ball is neutral on the entirety of Patrick's team, which allows for us to safely be able to click Shadow Ball. Once Mega Absol is gone, we can safely just click Shadow Ball and kick some serious ass with Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus can put in a lot of work this week. Cofagrigus is just a fucking monster, dude. Cofagrigus is an absolute beast. Beast incarnate, dude. Like, this thing is absolutely wild how good this mon is. It's terrifying, man. Cofagrigus is a beast. Cofagrigus is a monster, and it just shuts down the Mega Absol. It shuts down immediately. So, with this thing on our squad, Mega Absol cannot sweep us. So, hooray. Next mon we are bringing is Igneal, our Mega Charizard Y, with the Drought ability. Igneal here is running max speed, timid nature, max special attack. Very standard spread, completely standard spread, because of the simple fact that, you got 3 base 100s staring me in the face, okay? 3 base 100s staring me dead in the face. I'm willing to put, I mean, it's week 1. You know, it's not game-changing week 1. You win or lose week 1, it's not going to ruin your whole season, you know? Week 1, if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. But I'm willing to allow RNG gods into my life once. With 3 base 100s, I can't justify not speed tying, at least, with Charizard. Because if I don't speed tie, then all 3 of them are guaranteed to outspeed me, and either run an HP Rock, Ancient Power, or something along those lines to blow me back. So, I can't afford that. I have to run the max speed, I have to run the Timid Nature, guarantee a speed tie, max speed, Jolly / Timid, Manaphy, Victini, and Shaman. If we win the speed tie against Shaman, Fire Blast will blow it away. Ancient Power is our move to click on switch-ins, because if Victini wants to switch into us, or Noivern wants... Victini, Noivern, or... Victini and Noivern are our only switch-ins, or the only switch-ins to us, and Florges, but Florges isn't as big of a deal because we 2 KO it with Fire Blast. And it can't do shit to us outside of HP Rock. But Ancient Power is our click move, because A, we can potentially get the stat boosts, and B, Victini and Noivern are the switch-ins, essentially, to us. And if we can maybe get lucky and get the stat boosts, we don't have to worry as much about Victini in the long run. So that's really exciting. Solar Beam is for the Manaphy. We've just seen that we can take... We've seen very recently in the MPBA that we can take a +3 Scald from a Manaphy, which is awesome. We can take the +3 Scald and hit that bitch with a Solar Beam. So if it's timid and we win speed ties, we're going to blow the Manaphy away. Even if it's a bulkier set, we 2-hit KO with Solar Beam, even if it's fully specially defensive, which is great. And then lastly, we are packing the Roost, just so that we can keep our Charizard healthy and allow it to come in occasionally and bring the sun back on the field and put some work in that way. So that's going to be our Igneel. Next up, we have Ragnarok, the Tyranitar, holding the Expert Belt Sandstream ability, of course. Rocking Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, Fire Blast, and Brick Break. Okay, so a lot of things to explain here. First of all, Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks are safe to have on this set because A, we have a way of killing the Mega Absol. B, why not? And C, why not? You know, it'd be good to get the rocks up at some point in the matchup if I can. That's kind of the goal. If I can get the rocks up, I'll feel a little bit better about the Victini running around. I'll feel a little bit better about the Noivern potentially running around. I'll feel a lot better about the Frostlass running around without a Focus Sash. I'll feel a lot better about the matchup in general. So yeah, there's that. With 88 defense EVs and a relaxed nature, Tyranitar lives a +2 play rough from a Mega Absol. And the combination of Sand plus a Brick Break guarantees a KO. The Brick Break itself does 93 to 109%. So, with the Sandstorm going on, it would kill the Absol after the Brick Break were to hit it. If we got a min roll, the Sand would still kill the Absol, so that's awesome. And then we'd be able to freely set up our rocks at some point, maybe. We have the Fire Blast, which is a 2-hit KO on Shaman, which is cool as fuck. We do take a Seed Flare nicely, so that's cool. But Fire Blast is a 2-hit KO on Shaman. It'd be kind of cool if we could like hit the Shaman on a switch in with a Fire Blast, and then like blow it back the following turn. That'd be kind of hilarious. Or even if the Shaman like switched into a Stone Edge. I'm pretty sure Fire Blast KOs after a Stone Edge. So that's cool. But we are packing the Stone Edge just for stab. Also for the Victini. Victini, we kind of wall. Like, we take any hit from the Victini. We take V-Creates. We take Bolt Strikes. We take... the most it can do to us is U-Turn. And like an Adamant Banded U-Turn still only does max like 48%. So... this thing, the most it can do is 3 KOS with a move that phases it out of the battle, so that's kind of crazy. And like thinking about it, the switch-ins to this thing are not really Florges, because even max defense Florges is not going to appreciate Stone Edges. I mean, we're not going to stand against Florges, obviously, but it won't appreciate a Stone Edge. It's not really too much of a switch-in. Sand Slash, its special defense is booty, so... if it decides it wants to switch in, that's fine. We can Fire Blast it, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Frostlass can't switch in. Electivire won't think it can switch in, because until all of my moves have been revealed, it has to fear the concept of Earthquake or Earth Power. So that's that. Roselia isn't really a switch in, because its physical defense is booty, and we do have Fire Blast. Mega Absol... can't really switch in because we have the Brick Break. Lucario can't really switch in because we have the Fire Blast and Brick Break. And Lucario is the only thing that scares me. I mean, if Lucario comes, you know, Lucario comes, and then Tyranitar is going to have to, like, run away scared and frightened by the Lucario, because Lucario would blow us back. So that's a thing. But, Caracosta is not a switch-in, because it's a Caracosta. It's garbage. But, this thing kind of this Tyrannosaur set really walls a large portion of his team with this investment that we're running, so it's really, really decent, and can pretty much 2-hit KO a lot of things. That's the best part about mixed offensive, and can you not disconnect in the middle of the video? Holy fucking shit balls. Hold on. Bullshit alert detected. Alright, there we go. Get this bullshit off my screen. There we go. My bad, guys. Not my fault. My computer just wanted to disconnect from the internet. But that is going to be our Tyrannosaur set. If we can implicate it properly, this set's going to pretty much tear through. This set can wall and tear through a large portion of Patrick's team. The next mod we're bringing couples beautifully with Tyrannosaur in Scruff McRuff, the Stoutland. Running in Adamant Nature, Max Attack, Life Orb. Just enough speed that once we're in the sand, we outspeed Scarfed base 100s at max speed. Yes, Scarfed base 100s at max speed. Now, why Scarfed base 100s? Well, let me explain. First of all, if Frostlass is to come, in order for it to be useful, either has to be A, Scarfed, which I don't see happening, or B, it needs to be Sashed, which, if it's Sashed, that's fine. And if it's Sashed, we will outspeed it, A, and B, if we can get those rocks up, or Toxic Spikes up at some point, then Frostlass is essentially no longer Sashed, and dies to anything. So that's cool as shit. So yeah, I think I'm cool with that situation. Alright? Yeah. So Stoutland, put in that work. Right, like that. So, and then Noivern as well. I don't see Noivern coming. If Noivern comes, it might be Specs. It kind of has to be Specs to do decent damage, because if it's not Specs, it can't 2-hit KO my Charizard. Like my almost uninvested special defense Charizard. Like it's kind of pathetic. Noivern's kind of sad, but that's whatever. Now, if we look at the moveset, return, pretty much Okos. Everything on the Okos are 2-hit KOs. Everything on Patrick's roster, straight down the line, just tears through his team, because it's return coming from Max Attack, Adamant, base 110, Stab. Yeah, it's Stoutland is a beast. Tears through his team, absolutely shits on it. We are packing the Iron Head for the floor, just because Iron Head will do a little bit more damage than the return would. And we could potentially get the flinch. Superpower, because it'll do more than the return would do to the Caracosta and the Lucario. Superpower, even if we get the attack drop, Superpower is still a 2-hit KO on defensive Caracosta. So there's that. And lastly, we have the T-Wave, which is a very, very interesting thing, because I decided T-Wave would be good, because just in case the Noivern comes, and hey, we find out it's Scarfed, we can go ahead and paralyze that thing, and then kill it. Or paralyze one of the base 100s and kill it. Or paralyze something along the lines of something and kill it. You know, there's a lot of things we could paralyze and kill. Frostlass could be a good one to paralyze, maybe. If it comes in before Toxic Spikes end up being up, then yeah, we would love to paralyze that. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, there's options there. But overall, this beautiful creature known as Stoutland pretty much can, in the right scenario, and if after a little bit of chip damage and whatnot on his team can basically just appear in the sand and run through Patrick's entire squad. So Scruff McRuff is gonna give you nothing but the finest of work. Now, the next mon that I'm bringing fits very, very nicely into this squad and is kind of our way of dealing with potential Shell Smash Caracosta as well, and that is Noodlesworth, the Assault Vested Tangrowth. We're running 248 HP, 112 defense with a relaxed nature, and 148 in special defense. 148 special defense with the Assault Vest combined together allows us to live a +2 Ice Beam from Caracosta. We can take all the other hits beautifully, but +2 Ice Beam, we live it, and Giga Drain does a minimum of 190%. So Caracosta would disappear entirely if it's solid rock. If it's sturdy, well then, kudos to you. We have so many ways of breaking sturdies between the Toxic Spikes and the Stealth Rocks and whatnot. I personally don't see there being any scenario where you end up with sturdy and keeping your sturdy. So, yeah. Tangrowth pretty much shits on that. We have the HP Ice because if Noivern comes, it would be a switch into us, and we can catch that thing with an HP Ice and blow it away. HP Ice will also help with the potential Roselia and the Shaman. Earthquake is there for the Victini, which is also a potential switch in, and the Electivire, which we can switch into. We can switch into Electivire really nicely. Almost every single time we switch into Electivire, if it's there. And the Earthquake will also help us with the Lucario, which we can take a hit from if we need to. It's cool. And then lastly, I'm packing the knockoff just for utility purposes, so we can get rid of them items and shit, and that'd be really cool. So that's going to be our Tangrowth set. And the last mon we're bringing is going to be Stink Bomb, our Skuntank, rocking the Life Orb Aftermath ability with just enough speed to outspeed a -1 speed Victini. Now, I'm predicting there to be a situation where Victini goes for a V-Create and kills something. I'm pretty much guaranteeing that that's going to happen, and I'm okay with that. I want Victini to kill at least one thing, because if it does, its defenses will be dropped, and we have the perfect scenario to handle it. This Skuntank set right here, this Skuntank, will outspeed it. If it is banded, we will outspeed it, and we'll figure it out by the calcs and whatnot. If it is banded, we will outspeed it, and we can kill it with a crunch. If it is scarfed, we will, again, know by the calcs. We will know this information. After a V-Create, we will come in and click Sucker Punch and Oko. We will Oko the Victini and get rid of it. This thing is a good way of revenge killing the Victini. This is our 100%. I thought about Pursuit for a little bit, but I figured that was beyond obvious, and they're not going to swap out at that point. So, yeah. Because they know that they can live a Pursuit, so they'll go for another attack. Spoiler alert, we have Sucker Punch, and we blow you out of the water. We have the Play Rough, because this thing can take a hit from Mega Absol kind of decent. So, with that, we can hit him with a Play Rough and blow him away. So that's great. And then we're packing the Poison Jab for the Florges, because Florges does not want to take them hits, though. We're running 248 HP. Again, that's speed investment, and then the rest is all going into attack with an Adamant Nature. So that's going to be our squad. Just a couple things to go over quick before we go. Give you guys an insight as to why I'm not bringing some of the other mons on the team. Starmie I'm not bringing because A, I don't see hazards as being too big of a deal in this matchup. Even though, Starmie is my rapid spinner. I don't see hazards being too big of an issue because of, the way his team is structured. I don't see him bringing hazards to throw at us. I just personally don't see it. If it happens, you know, I'll probably bite myself in the ass. But Starmie just didn't fit on the squad. Between potential for, you know, Scarf Shaman, the fact that the entirety of his Firewater Grass Core shits on Starmie, you know, Bolt Strike from Victini, Energy Ball from Manaphy, Seed Flare from Shaman, all three of those shit on Starmie's life. Plus add in the fact that Noivern outspeeds it, can run moves to hit it. Mega Absol can blow it away with Knockoff or Sucker Punch, most likely Sucker Punch because we do share the same speed. And there's just so many scenarios that just show that Starmie doesn't fit this week. So that's why Shuriken's not showing up. Heliolisk. Heliolisk is another one. Since I brought Stoutland, you know, people are probably going to wonder, hey, why didn't you bring Heliolisk to take advantage of the sun, potentially? Well, first of all, there are 3 mons on my opponent's team that outspeed Heliolisk. So even if I ran Scarf, if they run Scarf on any of those, then it's GG. You know, Scarf on Frostlass. Oh shit, Destiny Bond. Guess what? My Heliolisk is now dead. Shit. Oh, look at that. Noivern wants to just come out and just fucking choice Garf Modest Draco Meteor the fuck out of me. Alright, I'm dead. Or taking large amounts of damage and not being able to properly handle the Noivern because now that it's faster than me, I can't just 2-hit KO it and move on with my life. Shit. Oh, Mega Absol can click Sucker Punch and kill me. Like, immediately. Or live a hit and then proceed to murder me absolutely with a knockoff. That would be great. That would be lovely. No, it wouldn't. Just so many mons on my opponent's team just Oko Heliolisk too quickly. He just wouldn't be able to provide as much badassery as I would expect. Plus, with a bunch of resists in Roselia, with a couple resists in Roselia and Shaman, plus the immunities in Electivire and Sandslash, I just couldn't see Heliolisk really fitting in this week. Gothitelle. Gothitelle is another good example, because I normally would use Gothitelle to trap some of these threats and take care of them. Well, I just don't see it working just because, A, the threats I would be trapping hit me a lot harder than I'm going to hit them. A lot harder. So that doesn't work. All the things I would trap have a way of hitting me super effectively or doing over 50% to me, so I can't really do that safely. So Gothitelle just doesn't fit here. Plus Mega Absol again just shits on its life. Escavalier. There's a Victini, so that's a thing. There's a Manaphy with Scalds, Scald Burning, yum. HP fires everywhere. There's a Noivern with Flamethrower. There's a Destiny Bonding Frostlass. There's a Mega Absol that can run Flamethrower. Escavalier just, for me, this week, just, his bulk would have been nice, but against this team, there's so many options that my opponent could run that could essentially just beat Escavalier that I just saw it being not useful. Clefairy, again, it's just, Clefairy is a situational type mon. It could have potentially worked this week, you know, Mega Absol being a thing, but Mega Absol likes to spam knockoffs, and I wouldn't want the Eviolite knocked off of Clefairy. I want to be able to, you know, conserve that Eviolite as much as I can in a matchup, and I know for a fact I wouldn't be able to do it in this one. Between Mega Absol, spamming knockoffs, Sandslash likes to knock things off. I think Caracosta gets knockoff. Manaphy gets knockoff. Just too many things get knockoff that I can't really trust. Bringing out a monster like Clefairy and then having it get its Eviolite knocked off and then it become so much less of a monster and then everyone just Okos it. So, yeah, there's that. And then, lastly, Sock. Sock was if I could bring 7 Pokemon, Sock is that 7th Mon. Sock is 100% the 7th Mon because it can take the hit, it can take some of the hits it needs to, and dish out the punishment. It's a good counter to Mega Absol, again, because it would make Mega Absol have to run Play Rough / Psycho Cut or whatever. This thing could though live a hit, take out things like the Lucario, the Mega Absol, the Caracosta with the Stab Close Combat. Could run some of the elemental punches, Ice Punch for the Roselia Shaman, Earthquake for the Victini, Thunder Punch for the Manaphy. You know, the options were definitely there. Potential Poison Jab for the Florges. You know, it has options, but its speed in this matchup just... the speed was what killed it in this one, because while it's a good Pokemon, I needed something fast. I needed something that was faster. I needed more mons that were faster and or bulkier to handle the job. And Sock is just kind of in the middle mon, where it wasn't bulky enough to do the things I needed to eat the hits it needed to eat, and just wasn't able to cover enough mons to outspeed and kill the things that I needed it to kill. So overall, I decided that Sock was not a good fit. So hopefully that allows you guys to understand where my team came from. If you guys enjoyed this, please make sure to leave a like down below. You will probably see the battle either later today or tomorrow, whenever the hell I get to uploading it or whatever. But if you guys have enjoyed... make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, I am PokePrimer, signing